Real quick before we jump into the video, guys, for the rest of this year I'm going to be on a fundraising campaign to raise a minimum of £1,000 for the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. For more information on the charity and what it does, and for the donation links, please look in the description below. And thank you all for your continued support. Enjoy the show. What's going on, guys? Right Teacher in the house, and we're here with the RBL week number 1. Your Royal Bournemouth Bombies are taking on the Portland SnailBlazers and Coach Ben Zosim, my kryptonite from last season, having beaten me in both series in week 6 and of course in the final. But we've got a very different draft this season. We've got 2 different teams. While his playstyle is somewhat the same as last season with a couple of differences, mine is very different. So we're going to be interested to see how this matches up stylistically, of course. Ben and I are 2 almost polar opposites in styles of player. He's a lot slower and methodical player, whereas I'm a lot more fast and aggressive. So it's a very interesting situation for it to be in stylistically as a matchup. Of course, Ben and I are widely regarded as 2 of the strongest players in the league, so it's a pretty epic match just to start us off with, and it'll be a pretty interesting kickstart to one of us, whoever wins the series. But looking at his team is really interesting. There's a lot of dynamic stuff that can happen. Of course, Colossal, the G-Max, and Dragapult is what Raikusik had last season and used it relatively well. I expect Ben to get a lot more value out of it. Although, fun fact, Colossal actually has a bit of a hard time calculating what it wants to speed invest into. Because if it wants to outrun the fastest thing on my team, which would be Lilligant and Sun, it would have to run a hell of a lot of speed EVs either way. If it wants to be Modest Nature, it needs to run about 220 speed. I think it's 228 speed. And if it wants to run Timid Nature, it still needs to run about 170 speed, both of which mean that it doesn't have a lot of HP stat. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he just EV'd to outspeed Pheromosa instead. If he thinks Lilligant's probably not coming, which I think he could probably be forgiven for. Because Lilligant does not have the best matchup into this team. It doesn't touch Copper Ajar very much. It doesn't really do much to things like Hitmonlee and Sylveon, so it's not a surprise that if he thinks Lilligant doesn't come. So it could be an interesting dilemma what he does with this Colossal. He may not even bring it. I do have a couple of things that can reasonably take it on pretty well, so we'll see if he does opt for that. Conkeldurr, Copper Ajar, and Dusclops, of course, is an exceptional Trick Room mode. Copper Ajar and Conkeldurr hit incredibly hard, both get access to Sheer Force. Of course, Conkeldurr probably more likely to be Iron Fist or Guts, which could still be very strong, of course. Dusclops being a Trick Room setter of choice. Sylveon, I believe, gets Trick Room. I could be wrong on that. I am actually going to look. I don't know where I got that idea from, if it does. Because this was the free agency video that I talked about, where I felt like Comfey might have been a better fit, because of Trick Room. Yeah, I'm just gonna see if it does. It does not get Trick Room, so that's probably one of the reasons I liked Comfey a little bit more in this matchup. So yeah, definitely an interesting one, but nonetheless, like, Hyper Voice is disgusting with Sylveon because of Pixelate, of course. It's not as strong as it was in Gen 6, but it is still pretty strong. Definitely something I have to keep in mind. But Drizzle, pretty interesting one. Not the fastest thing in the world, but does actually hit relatively hard. Of course, Scope Lens Sniper is the typical thing with Inteleon, but it doesn't get snipe shots, so that's something that I do have to consider. There are some very funky techs it does have, which I wouldn't be too surprised if he bought. Shiftry, again, one of those awkward speed tier mons. Pretty interesting though, does get Sucker Punch, can be physical or special, can be viable on both, does get Hurricane for max Airstream and stuff like that, so it's potential. Vaporeon, a very slow passive Pokemon, but definitely spreading Scald Burns around could suck a lot, obviously, Wish and stuff like that. Can be interesting. I believe it also gets Life Dew now in the current gen as well, and it does get Flip Turns, so it can pivot. So this team is pretty interestingly balanced. I could see him not bringing Trick Room. And in a way, I kind of hope he doesn't bring Trick Room, because I feel like in a straight pace matchup, I should be ahead of him. But we know Ben's a mechanically skilled player, so it's not going to be that easy, even if I have the favorable matchup. The one downside for him against me, of course, though, is the fact that my team is so versatile, it's difficult for him to know what I'm bringing and how I'm going to bring them. But my honest prediction, I think he brings Colossal Dragapult. I think he probably brings Hitmonlee. And then anything of the others is kind of anybody's guess, because As much as I like the double evolutions, I don't think they're that great against me. Particularly Vaporeon, I don't think it's that useful. Obviously, it can pressure Torkoal, but in Sun, it doesn't really do much. So there's a few interesting nuances here that could be in play here. So let's take you through my team, what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. And as you can see by the nicknames, we are very Ben themed this week because of his name being Ben's Awesome. So leading the charge, we have Ben's Hot, the Assault Vested Torkoal this week. We're actually running this thing fully SPDF. This allows me to take on any form of Colossal, regardless of its stats. In fact, this is actually kind of nice because with my special attack stat and the potential max on it, with Eruption, Earth Power, Heat Wave, and Solar Beam, Earth Power actually 2-hit KOs Colossal unless it's max HP, so that's something to bear in mind. And also, you got to factor in the Surf damage from the Dragon Bolt, which will only be about 8% depending on how he's EV'd that and IV'd that Dragon Bolt. If he's done what I did last season with Weavile constantly, then he'll put no special attack IVs on. And obviously, he do a special attack reducing nature. So I expect him to do that, if anything. But nonetheless, Earth Power does actually a huge amount of work, even if we're fully SPDF. So the fully SPDF Assault Vest is actually really nice because this allows me to never get 2-hit KO'd by the G-Max Volcalith, which is always handy because, of course, we are really slow with Torkoal naturally. We are actually min speed. This means that if he does bring Trick Room, I underspeed everything. He has nothing that can compete with this speed tier, so having Benzot the Torkoal is definitely really, really nice for this. So it does kind of threaten him out of Trick Room a little bit, because Torkoal under Trick Room is disgusting, and the fact that it has coverage moves that hit basically all of his Trick Room threats except for Conkeldurr, which we do have an answer for, which I'll show you in a bit. So this thing could definitely be very, very scary, and something that he's going to have to consider very carefully going into this matchup as soon as he sees the Torkoal on the screen. Next up is going to be Ben's British, which is a bit of a meme, of course, because he's not actually British from what I remember, but that was the only thing I could think of when I heard of Indeedee. We're actually running Specs fully offensive this week, which is pretty fun. Definitely interesting. We're running enough speed to outspeed Drizzile, because Drizzile is the fastest thing that I can realistically outspeed, because obviously Dragapult is faster, so that's something to bear in mind, but I do outspeed everything else, barring any Scarfers or an Unburdened boosted Hitmonlee, which I do expect to be Psychic Seed, to try and take advantage of my Psychic terrain, which would be a bit annoying, but I think I have ways to deal with that, so I'm not too scared of it. But yeah, we are running Specs, 4 attacks, of course, Expanding Force, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball, Mystical Fire. This is actually enough to be able to pretty much blow back his entire team. He does not really have a good switch into this. Maybe Sylveon, but that's about as good as it goes. Dusclops can probably eat a couple of hits if it's fully SPDF, but it's not really going to appreciate Expanding Force plus anything else on my team, so that's going to be something that's pretty scary. And of course we're timid, because we couldn't get away with Modest, unfortunately. I would have liked to have gone away with Modest, because it pretty much guarantees a 2-hit KO on Dusclops, but unfortunately we can't. So, nonetheless, we are fine either way. And then our last offensive mon is going to be Bendover, the Focus Sash Pheromosa. Of course, max attack, pretty much max speed. We're running enough speed to outspeed Dragapult, which means it's forced to run Scarf if it wants to outspeed and get the Surf off with Colossal. We have Triple Axle, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Speed Swap. I almost put Drill Run on instead of U-Turn. I might still change that as we get to the builder, because honestly, Drill Run, as good as it is for Colossal, it actually doesn't hit the rest of the team all that hard. It can hit Copper Azure, but I do have Close Combat for both of those, so I'm not really all that scared. Close Combat actually does more, and I could potentially also max this. Max Knuckle actually can 2-hit KO Colossal, depending on its EV spread. Also, Max Hailstorm can OHKO Dragapult, depending on its EV spread, but Triple Axle can also kill like non-fully Fizz-Def Dragapult anyway. He also does have to factor in the possibility that this could be special. Bendover actually does get some good special moves too. Against Blizzard, gets Ice Beam, and stuff like that. So he could factor in a potential burn, but obviously once you see the Triple Axle and the Dragon Ball dies, then suddenly you've got a problem. Alrighty, of course we're jolly because we couldn't get away with Adamant. Next up, the more supportive core of the team, we have Ben Sneaky, the G-Max Grimmsnarl, running the Lag and Tail trick set. You guys pretty much know this set. It's pretty common around about now. We're running fully SPDF because a lot of his big threats are special when you look at things like the Sylveon, the Dragapult, and the Colossal will probably mostly be special orientated. Of course, if it is the defensive Dragapult that Raikusik kept bringing last season, Breaking Swipe is pretty much his only other attacking move, which does not touch me because I'm a fairy type. So, pretty solid moves pool in general. Prankster Trick Lagging Tail is actually really, really fun. If I can trick this onto Colossal or any offensive threat, it will always move last, which means that it's taking 2 hits before it dies. Taunt is pretty nice, particularly if we're running into Dusclops. Dusclops always helps. Reflect just helps the rest of the team out against things like the Copper Ajana Conkeldurr, because those are probably the biggest physical threats on the team, as well as Hitmonlee. We'll see what Hitmonlee does if it does decide to come. Shiftry, of course, could be physical as well, as can Drizzle, but those are kind of not really that scary against my team in general. Famous last words, of course, but we are fully Spadef just to try to take advantage of the Colossal primarily, as well as the Dragapult. Next up, we have Bones GF, the Litigant. We're running Wide Lens. This is a very, very fun set. This is a set that's probably not the best, but I kind of wanted to run it. So we are actually max HP, max speed, which might seem very, very odd. But we're actually running a very supportive-orientated set with Protect Charm, Giga Drain, and Sleep Powder. So this thing under Sun outspeeds everything on his team, barring Scarf Dragapult. It outspeeds everything else. It outspeeds Unburdened Hitmonlee. It outspeeds its non-Scarf Pult. It outspeeds almost every speed tier of Colossal, depending on what EV spread it runs. So it can be very, very strong. Charm is very nice because it can really cripple things like the Conkeldurr, the Copper Ajana, and the Hitmonlee that all want to do significant amounts of damage. Sleep Powder could be exceptional because its only immunity to it is Shiftry. So if I can get a Sleep off on any of the key carries and just start raining Terror on, this thing could be very, very handy to really put in a lot of work. Giga Drain, of course, is mostly there for Vaporeon and Drizzle. If they do decide to come, it's also my only damaging move of choice, just in case he does bring a Taunting one. So that's always a possibility, because Dusclops can always carry Taunt and stuff like that. But yeah, we are timid just to take advantage of the speed and make it a little bit awkward for his prep. I didn't necessarily have to be max speed, but I wanted to be, mostly for the Colossal, because I wanted it to waste as many EVs on speed as possible. And then last but by no means least, we have Benzo P, the Thunderous. We have the Charlie Berry on it this week, which is a pretty interesting one. Obviously, taking less damage from a rock attack. This gives me a good chance to live the Volcalith, which is pretty nice. And we'll have an even better chance to live the Volcalith from the Colossal as well. When we look at our set, again, we're very supportive set. We're max HP, largely max speed. We're running enough speed to outspeed things like the Drizzle and stuff like that. We didn't need to be too heavy on the speed front, so we could actually run the Modest Nature. This allowed me just to get a little bit more damage out of the Thunderbolt. I did debate on putting Electro Web on this instead, but Taunt, Eerie Impulse, Protect, and Thunderbolt. Taunt, of course, is there for Dusclops to deny Trick Room. Eerie Impulse is very, very nice, because on Colossal especially, if I can just blow back the special attack boost, then Torkoal never gets 2-hit KO'd at all. It would have to be Weakness Policy procs to get 2-hit KO'd. So that's always nice. Protect is always handy as well, guarantees me to live the hit. Thunderbolt is just nice chip damage on generally everything bar Shiftry. And it also prevents me from getting shut down by Taunt as well. And of course we are Prankster, which just gives us the best support pool options that we can. Obviously, we can't Eerie Impulse the Dragapult because it has Clear Body, so that's something to bear in mind. But nonetheless, once Dragapult's got a Surf off, if it is that set, then it's not really going to do too much anyway. So that's going to be the team. As I said earlier, I expect it to probably be a non-Trick Room matchup that he brings. But he might bring Trick Room. If he does bring Trick Room, we've got plenty of prep for it. So we will see how it goes. But that's going to be the team. Let me know what 6 you would have brought, and if you agree with my picks. And of course, let's take you into the battle. So see you in a bit. Alright then guys, we're connected up with our boy Ben, of course. You can see the 6 I'm bringing up there, and you can see the 6 I think he's probably bringing over there. It's kind of tricky to decide, honestly, because he's got a lot of interesting options that he could go for. My assumption is the 6 on here. He could definitely bring a few other things. Obviously, Trick Room with Dusclops is definitely a viable option. But yeah. We will see how well this goes, of course. Ben is a fantastic player, so you never quite know what we're going to get out of this. But I might have packed too much support into this team. Looking at my team builder again, I feel like I may have made a couple of mistakes in prep, but we will see. I'm not going to be nervous about it. Just going to wish Ben good luck, have fun in the Discord. And of course, we will see what Ben has to offer us. Hopefully everything is okay. We are actually playing this a day later than we intended to. Unfortunately, Ben had a hard time getting his mons the day before when we were due to play. So we moved it to today so he can get his mons and get everything ready. So hopefully everything's okay. He's taking a while to find his team. He's probably doing his intro. Yep, there we go. Alrighty. Good luck, have fun, Ben. Let's see what you've got for me. Okay, so he did opt for Trick Room. He did bring the Drizzle. He also bought Dragapult Colossal, so... pretty good team. No Hitmonlee is actually very good for me. He also has no Psychic Resist, which means Specs Expanding Force does a shed load of damage. So, that's something to know. I do like leading Grimmsnarl here. Because I can taunt anything on his team. And I also like going for Torkoal. Because if he leads Dragapult Colossal, then I'm in a pretty good spot with this lead. The other question mark would be if he leads, like, Dusclops Conkeldurr. I guess that could be a problem. He could also lead the Sylveon, which is something I do need to consider. But I actually think leading... Grimmsnarl Torkoal is nice for us here. We definitely want Indeedee in the back. The question is, what else do we want? Lilligant is nice, because if I can put some things to sleep, we're in a good spot. I also kind of like Thundurus here. Let's try Thundurus, and then we'll see how that goes. So, no Hitmonlee, which is nice for us. Brings Dusclops instead. Dusclops. Okay. He does bring the Drizzle. Doesn't bring Shiftry. He brings Conkeldurr instead. So that is Dragapult and Conkeldurr, actually. Interesting. Okay. I don't think you can self-priority into Dragapult for policy here. I do like the option of tricking here. I could definitely see, like, trick into Dragapult being worth. So I think that's what we go for. We trick into Dragapult and then Erupt. Well, Conkeldurr's going to be faster than me, right? So I think we could definitely max Quake. I'm debating on maxing here. Yeah, I actually like going for max Quake here. Because even if Colossal comes in, I think we're actually in a good spot. So we'll max Quake into the Dragapult as well. As he also commits his max. So this is probably max Dragapult, if I had to guess. It could be Conk. Oh, could he be trying to Will-O-Wisp? It is Dragapult. Okay. That's fine. I'm actually pretty okay with this play. We're going to commit our max into Torkoal. I guess I could have saved my max, but Torkoal was my primary max plan here. So, I'm actually A-okay with this. I almost considered maxing Grimmsnarl, but Grimmsnarl max doesn't feel good here. I do want to watch out for Spirit Breaking Dragapult in case this is a potential policy set. Which is kind of what I'm a little worried about. But it's interesting. Does he protect the Conk? He does. So we actually make a very good read here. So he's definitely Guts Conk. So we're going to trick the Dragapult here. We'll see what he had. Safety Goggles. Oh, that's really nice for us. So the Phantasm's going to go off. It doesn't do a lot, as you can see. That looks like a special Dragapult to me, because we are Assault Vest, and that did no damage at all, which is good. Now, the downside, of course, is he dropped my physical defense, but we are going to buff our Spadef up here. That did nothing. That is fully defensive. Okay. Good to know. So, I think what I can do here, then, He could Phantasm me again. I'm a little concerned about Bullet Punch on my Grimmsnarl. How do I counter that? I don't want to switch into Indeedee right now, although that is tempting. The question is, do I really need my Grimmsnarl? Fortunately, I don't have Protect here, but I do have Reflect, so we will go for that. We will go for Reflect and then Max Flare into Conk, I think. Because I don't think this Dragapult's doing too much. But we'll get our Reflect up. Which will make up for the defense drop that we just had. Because he's Poison Jab Conkeldurr. Interesting. That still killed through Reflect? Is that a crit? No. Wow. Also interesting that Conkeldurr outsped me. But this should do a chunk. It doesn't quite pick up the kill, which is a little unfortunate, as he does Phantasm again. Okay. This isn't the worst for us. Because I can now go into Indeedee and just click Expanding Force. So that's what we're going to go for here. We'll go to Indeedee, set up the Psychic Terrain. And this will prevent any priority shenanigans. And now I just lock myself into Expanding Force. Because he doesn't really have an answer for that. And then I can also Max Quake into the Dragapult. So it depends what he has in the back here, but I feel like I'm still okay with this turn of events. So we've seen Protect, Poison Jab on the Conkeldurr. As Conkeldurr switches, that's fine by me. Something else is taking an Expanding Force. It's Dusclops. Okay. That's fine. So he's going to see that I'm Specs and AV Torkoal now, which is not nice, but that did a ton of damage. That's kind of crazy how strong that is. Alright. We are going to get an extra bit of Spadef. The Dragapult's really low now, which is really nice. So Expanding Force is going to pick up another KO here. He does Phantasm into Torkoal again. That's fine. You can see it's not doing a lot of damage. I guess he could be Phantom Force? Because he is doing slightly more damage each hit there. So I think this might be Physical Pult. Okay. So I think what I do here is I Expanding Force again. We'll mainly hit into Dusclops here. And then I can Heat Wave into the Dusk... Or I can just Heat Wave here. I feel like this is fine. Because he doesn't have a good way through Indeedee at this point with this team. I guess he could have Drizzile in the back, which could be problematic. But as I'm faster than everything on his team at this point, as he does protect the Pult, that's fine. Does he double protect? No. I don't think you take Expanding Force plus Heat Wave very well. So we'll see. That's a lot of damage. Nice. He goes for Bulldoze. That's interesting. Okay. This might kill my Torkoal. And it doesn't. We just hold on. So if we don't miss the Heat Wave, that's huge for us. But the minus speed is a problem. So I am going to need to switch my Indeedee out at some point. There's obviously the Protect on the Torkoal. If I get this Heat Wave off, it's huge. And we do. Okay. This should kill the Dusclops. Yep, it's gone. Nice. Okay. I think us hanging on there might not have been the best thing in the world. But that was a good play, though, to protect the Bulldoze. Mina is Sylveon. Okay. I kind of like the idea of switching my Indeedee out into my Thundurus. Because I think Torkoal goes down anyway here. So yeah, if I switch Indeedee into Thundurus, and we can let Torkoal go down here, I'll just go for another Heat Wave. Because I don't think I need Thundurus anymore. Because we know Expanding Force just cleans up. Goes for the Hyper Voice, which will knock out my Torkoal. I did a lot to my... I did a lot. Dragon Darts. Yeah, he's physical Pult. Okay. So now we know that. We're actually in a good spot here. Okay. That might have been a misplay. Maybe. I'm not sure. With Dragapult being Lagging Tail, the Expanding Force will pick up the kill. So the question is, can Sylveon plus Conkeldurr beat me? I'm not sure. But I might have misplayed that, but I wanted the speed back, so I guarantee outspeed this Sylveon unless it's Scarfed. So we'll get the Expanding Force off. As we are faster, so it's not Scarf, it's probably Specs then. Oh, that looks defensive to me, actually. Ah, the max HP, max special attack. Let's see how much this does. That's a crit, right? No, that's just a one-shot. Wow, okay. Interesting. So we need to find a way to deal with this Sylveon. I don't think Thundurus is the bring. Unless I Eerie Impulse. I thought I already had Ben's lead card, but I guess he changed it. So, GG's for Ben for game 1 there. That was pretty interesting. Okay. So... things to take from that. Definitely Grimmsnarl is really nice for us here. I think he leads Sylveon this time, though. I think you leave Dragapult on the bench. So the question is, what do we do after that? So this is a physical... this is a physical part. I could lead Torkoal Lilligant. I actually like that play as well. Torkoal Lilligant with Indeedee in the back. And Grimmsnarl. Could be really good. I actually really like Pheromosa here. Pheromosa could be very, very strong in the right matchup. No, I like Grimmsnarl more here. We'll try this. This is a tough match either way. This is a very close series. Which I think is probably expected, given the fact that we are considered the 2 best players in the league. So I'd like to get this to game 3 if we can. Let's see what he brings this time. Alrighty. So we're gonna lead our Sun Duo. We'll see how well this goes. I expect, like, Dusclops Pult. It's actually Sylveon and Dragapult. Okay. So if we get the Sleep Powder on Sylveon, I think we're in a great spot here. Because I think he constantly phantasms my... Torkoal? I guess he could also max Flare. I do like the max Quake. Into the Pult. And I guess the question is, do I Sleep Powder the Pult or do I Sleep Powder the Sylveon? I think Sleep Powdering Pult is going to be a good option. So he actually switches Sylveon out, so I could have put something to sleep here. Mineta, who's that? That is Dusclops, okay. So he does Frisk, finds my Assault Vest, and he sees I'm now Wide Lens. He does max this Pult, so if I land a Sleep Powder, I think we're in a fantastic spot here. Because we know this thing is not choiced, so he can't outspeed my Lilligant. So if I land a Sleep Powder, I think we're in such a good spot. Okay, so we get our max off again. Maybe I could have saved my max. Maybe I should have just Heat Wave that turn. I don't know about that. I do want to get a burn on Pult if I can. But sleeping it is also going to be fine. Plus we can also go for Charm. Oh yeah, he's Safety Goggles. I'm so dumb! I forgot about that. Oh, that's a bad misplay. That's a very bad misplay. I think I've just thrown. I should have thought about that. I tricked it last game. Why did I not think about it? Okay, well, I just threw. I think. So we know this is physical pull. How do I deal with physical pull? I guess I go Thundy here. Oh, Grimmsnarl, rather. Oh, this could actually be really good. I should have gone for this. So I'm a little mad at myself that I didn't do this. But, you know, that's the game. I made a misplay here. I think it's definitely going to cost me the game. The question is, how much can I do here? I think he definitely tries to trick him, right? I'm gonna taunt the Dusclops. Oh man, forgetting the safety goggles is so stupid. But I have to find a way back in. I think I can still win this game. Oh, he ally switched. Good play. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's bad on my end. I don't think I played this game very well. So I need to reevaluate how I play against Ben. Because Ben plays these matches very, very well. And I don't know if it's a playstyle thing or if I just constantly make that one slip up. Yeah, that really is nothing. That's fully specially defensive. Okay. Yeah, I threw there. I definitely threw. I actually just like pumping out a max flare here into Dusclops. And then go for Reflect. Because I definitely need the screen. He actually switches Dusclops out again. It's interesting that he's playing this way. He goes to Sylveon now. Not surprised to see that. Okay, we'll get our Reflect up. How could I have played this game differently? We are going to see these airstreams, which is going to make him faster than my... whatchamacallit? Indeedee now. Yeah, I threw this game really bad, turn 1. That was not good on my end. I did a good amount. Hey, so Pulse Dynamax ends, so does mine. What do I want to do here? Can I still get back into this game? I feel like I can still get back into this. The question is, how do I deal with this Dragapult? Because I didn't bring Pheromosa. That could have been a mistake on my end to not bring it. We will click Heat Wave. I guess I Spirit Break into the Sylveon. Let's go for Dragon Darts. Obviously, this does not affect my Grimmsnarl. Okay, and there's a Hyper Voice. This probably knocks both out, right? Oh no, we actually both lived. Ooh, that's actually important here. And we do connect the double Heat Wave, which is nice. Burn on Pult? Nope, never mind. We will get a Spirit Break off. We are going to try and mitigate the Sylveon. We actually knock it out. Oh, I didn't think that would kill. I actually didn't think that would kill. Okay. We're not out of this yet. We're definitely not out of this. Mineta is Dusclops, so he's probably going to try to Ally Switch again. I see no reason not to Heat Wave. Do I predict him Ally Switching and just trick into the Dusclops? I kind of want to do that. Go on, go for Ally Switch. Get me back in this game. Go for Ally Switch. If you go for Ally Switch, I'm back. No! Oh no! What a play. But I am actually going to take his Flame Orb, so that's actually not bad for me. Ah, that's unfortunate. But I'm kind of fine with this. Conkeldurr always moves last now, so Dragonlance is going to kill my Torkoal. But now I actually go in DD. So I don't know if I'm mad at this. Obviously, Grimmsnarl being burned kind of sucks, but with bringing Indeedee back out, I think we're in a good spot here. I wish I got that Lagging Tail onto Dragapult there. That would have been so good. I thought he would go for Ally Switch there, but that was a really good switch. I think he's played so well. Like, you know, full credit to him. You know, that's just how the game goes, right? We're going to Expanding Force. We will actually trick the Flame Orb into Pult, I think. I mean, there's every chance he switches this Pult out, right? My Reflect's still up. How do I check? I think my Reflect's gone, right? Probably would have gone by now. Okay. We'll go for Reflect. He does actually Protect, which is fine by me. So, the fact that he stayed in was surprising. Ah, shit, I miscalced. No, I've thrown again. Oh, I got back into this game too. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. Okay, calm down. You can still win. This game's not over. Especially after that. That's huge. Alright. This game is not over. This game is still winnable. But I definitely should not have thrown there. I thought my screen had ended. Is my screen ending now? Wait, what? Ah, whatever. I think I still lose because I think the Sato lives. I can definitely try to hit it. If I can get some damage off, I think we're in a good spot. Ooh, okay, so it's just Dusclops now. So can Dusclops clutch this? That's the question. And Dusclops clutched us. Nightshade into my Grimmsnarl. That plus Burn kills me, but can you not touch my Indeedee? Because you'll probably what? Trick Room? There's my Reflect going off. Wow. I really miscalculated my Reflect there. But that's fine. Expanding Force should pick up the kill here. Indeedee is such a problem for him. This is single target Expanding Force in terrain. This should die. Yeah. Okay. 1-1. Wow. Okay. So we definitely both had a few misplays in that game. So it's a very scrappy series. But man, what a series. There's a good reason why this was the final last season. You know what I mean? Oh, boy. So the question is, do I bring Pheromosa this time? I feel like if I didn't throw with Lilligant, I was in a good spot. I just threw with Lilligant, which was so stupid. How do I do this? How do I do this? I mean, Torkoal's such a problem for him, right? We haven't seen the Drizzle yet. I wonder. What if I lead Torkoal and Pheromosa here? Because this Dragapult's not choiced, which means that it can't outspeed my Pheromosa. I guess the question is, do you have priority? We definitely bring Indeedee in the back. And then the question is, what else do I bring? I do like Grimmsnarl. The problem I have with bringing this team is I'm very weak to Sylveon. Unless I get the Lagging Tail on it. Because Indeedee 2-hit KOs it. But doesn't kill me back. You know what? I think this is the play. As much as I really want to bring Lilligant again, I don't know if Lilligant's going to be good here. Alright, let's try this. We'll bring Pheromosa for the last game. Let's see what happens. I'm expecting Dusclops Conkeldurr. That's kind of what I'm thinking is going to come, which might scupper me a little bit here. But we will see. But either way, what a phenomenal series, Ben. Whatever the result, it's going to be a fun game, and I'm happy with that. Propionita, that's got to be Drezar, right? Yeah, so he's side Aqua Jetting. Okay. So I should have led Grimmsnarl. That's, first and foremost, the obvious thing here. That being said, though, I can still max Quake into the Torkoal here. I could also speed swap. I do kind of like the idea of speed swapping into Torkoal. But I do also like the close combat into the Colossal. So he's definitely going to side Aqua Jet here, right? He does max, not surprised to see that. I think he side Aqua Jets. So the thing is, he knows I may be Torkoal. So, like, he cannot 2-hit KO me. Well, he can 2-hit KO me at +2, but it's going to be a little difficult, because he's going to take Aqua Jet damage here. He's also going to take a sizable chunk of damage on this Colossal. I don't think Aqua Jet plus close combat and max Quake is going to kill, but it's definitely going to do a sizable chunk of damage. I almost maxed Pheromosa, maybe I should have done, but that's a very risky play. So he's going to side Aqua Jet here for sure. Oh! Well done. Tearful Look. That's fine. Doing that in a Torkoal is okay with me. Because Torkoal's not really the offensive threat here, but wow. What a play. The thing is, now you can't do that anymore. So I think I make the same play again. I don't see a reason why not here. I mean, obviously I'm not going to 2-hit KO him anymore. As here's the side Aqua Jet, so we knew this was coming. The question is, how much speed do you have on this Colossal? You should outspeed my Pheromosa with this. Which you do. Okay, how much is this Volcalift gonna do? This will tell me if you're modest or not. That's a crit. That's a crit. Oh, that's so sad. That crit matters so much. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh, this is gonna do a good chunk back, yeah. Oh, I think that crit spoils the game, but yeah, what can you do there? Like, sometimes that happens, that's just the way the game goes, but I can still go to Grimmsnarl here. So, here is an interesting scenario for him. Because if I trick the Lagging Tail, then we're in a great spot. I mean, I feel like he max guards here, just to be on the safe side. But I don't feel like I have a problem going for this play. Maybe I should close combat the Drezar, actually. Ah, I should have done that. That's bad, because if he guards here, I'm in a bad spot. But that one crit decided the game, I think. Because he never kills Torkoal. I'm fully Spadef Assault Vest. Even at +2, he does a maximum about half. So, that crit really did matter. That's kind of sad. That's just the way the Pokemon goes. Oh, he switched. Oh. That is the Sylveon. Okay. So we're going to trick the Lagging Tail onto this Colossal now. He does Flare. That should be into Pheromosa. Yep. Okay. So this is going to be a little difficult now. It's not over by any means. Definitely not. But it's definitely difficult. For sure. Oh, that crit really did hurt. That's kind of sad. But this is a great game, though. Kind of unfortunate that that's how this happens, but that's Pokemon. So his max is over, which isn't the worst in the world. And now he always moves last as well, which is nice. So I think I Spirit Break into Sylveon and Expanding Force. I think this is by far and away the best option I have to get back into this. So no Protects, which is nice. As we do knock down the Colossal, so that's a good start. Alright, Spirit Break. Not quite enough for a kill, but we do get the special attack drop, which is nice. It goes for Hyper Voice. This should kill my Grimmsnarl. Oh, we live. Nice. Okay. But this Volcalith is hurting, for sure. So he should try... Well, he can't really bring out Drizzle for the priority because I have Psychic Terrain, right? So I think Dusclops is his last, right? Yeah, Dusclops. Okay. Not surprised to see that. But yeah. This was a close fight for a while there. But this is how Pokemon goes. We are going to taunt into Dusclops. And then click Expanding Force. No reason not to. But yeah, what a great game though. We almost pulled this back as Sylveon switches out, but Froppy doesn't want to take this. This is probably sashed, if I had to guess. Oh no, I'm so dumb! Why did I just not Spirit Break? And it's sashed as well. Oh my goodness, what is up with me today? Bulldozer's gonna kill his own Mon. But that -1 speed is gonna lose it. Oh, man. Misplay after misplay. The crit on the Torkoal definitely sucked. But I don't know if this would have mattered, though. As Volcalith's probably killing me, right? Yeah, so that's great games to bed. What a great series. I definitely should have Spirit Braked into the Drizzle there. That was a bad play on my end. But nonetheless, that was a really entertaining series. GG's to Ben and the Portland SnailBlazers. So we start the season 0-1. But that being said, this is probably our hardest match out of the way. Ben, of course, was last season's champion. So getting out my hard match to start with is always nice. I actually don't know who I'm playing next. I should probably look and see who we have next week. Because next week, I think, is a newcomer, if I remember right. We do have 6 of them, so... highly good chance that we'll probably face a newcomer. We are facing the San Fran Falcons, actually, which is a really exciting match, because that is Hot Wings, if I remember right, and he's relatively new, so it's going to be a fun match. He's got a very good rain team, so I got my work cut out. But either way, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series. Either way, make sure to leave a like, and if you're new, subscribe for more RBL content, because it's going to be a blast. We've got 11 matches a regular season, so definitely a lot of fun to come. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Bombi Teacher. I'm your coach of the Royal Bomber for Bombies. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.